Welcome to our Capital Recovery Center, where we focus on two key concepts. How can we help you with your recovery today? And what does recovery mean to you? Tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. to our coffee and conversation meeting and Thursdays at 1 p.m. to our All Recovery meeting. For updated information, follow our Capital Recovery Center Facebook page.
Hi everyone, welcome to GratiTuesdays here at Capital Recovery Center. My name is Raina and I'm a recovery coach here.
Hello, welcome again. My name is Karen. I'm also a recovery coach.
So last week was our first meeting that we did based on the topic of gratitude. So we're just going to go over some of the basics that we covered last week, and then we're going to move on to our first activity, which is a gratitude worksheet that we found on changetochill.org. So last week we talked about the different benefits of gratitude. The first being that gratitude can open the door to more relationships. So not only does saying thank you constitute good manners, but showing appreciation can help you win new friends. According to a study published in Emotion, the study found that thanking a new acquaintance makes them more likely to seek an ongoing relationship. So whether you thank a stranger for holding the door or send a thank you note to the colleague who helped you with a project, acknowledging other people's contributions could lead to new opportunities. So basically saying that, you know, if you're grateful for just the little things that people in your life are doing, it makes them feel good about themselves, which can definitely help foster positive relationships.
And number 2 says gratitude improves physical health. Grateful people experience fewer aches and pains and report feeling healthier than other people. According to a 2012 study published in Personality and Individual Differences. Not surprisingly, grateful people are also more likely to take care of their health. They exercise more often and are more likely to attend regular checkups, which is likely to contribute to further longevity.
That's good. Yeah, if you care about your health and you care about, you know, your quality of life, you're going to put more effort into those types of things. So the third one is gratitude improves psychological health. Gratitude reduces a multitude of toxic emotions, from envy and resentment to frustration and regret. Robert Emmons, a leading gratitude researcher, has conducted multiple studies on the link between gratitude and well-being. His research confirms that gratitude effectively increases happiness and reduces depression. So that's like the whole like perspective piece of it, where if you're always looking at what you don't have or the negative aspects of things in your life, you're going to tend to be somebody who is more depressed or full of anxiety and worry all the time. So focusing on the positive, the half glass, half empty, half full, you know what I mean, perspective, you're more likely to have less resentment and less depression and have a happier overall experience in life.
Where are we?
Moving forward.
Gratitude enhances empathy and reduces aggression. Grateful people are more likely to behave in a pro-social manner, even when others behave less kindly, according to a 2012 study by the University of Kentucky. Study participants who ranked higher on gratitude scales were less likely to retaliate against others, even when given negative feedback. They experienced more sensitivity and empathy toward other people, and a decreased desire to seek revenge.
This kind of reminds me, like when my kids were younger, if they were having a situation at school with another kid or being bullied or any of that type of thing, like we raised them that like violence is never an option, but more on the concept of kill them with kindness. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, they might be picking on you, they might be saying negative things to you, but that doesn't mean that you have to do the same in return. Because sometimes just like, you know, okay, thank you, it can be enough to stop somebody in their tracks and, you know, you kind of diffuse a negative situation. Number 5, grateful people sleep better. I don't know about this one because I'm pretty grateful and I don't sleep very well, but writing in a gratitude journal improves sleep. According to a 2011 study published in Applied Psychology, Health and Wellbeing, spend just 15 minutes jotting down a few grateful sentiments before bed, and you may sleep better and longer. So maybe I should take that advice. Maybe I think I'm more grateful than I actually am.
Number 6 is gratitude improves self-esteem. A 2014 study published in the Journal of Applied Sports Psychology found that gratitude increased athletes' self-esteem, an essential component to optimal performance. Other studies have shown that gratitude reduces social comparisons. Rather than becoming resentful toward people who have more money or better jobs, a major factor in reduced self-esteem, grateful people are able to appreciate other people's accomplishments.
Yeah, I like that one. It's like being happy for somebody regardless of, identifying, not comparing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So number 7 is gratitude increases mental strength. For years, research has shown gratitude not only reduces stress, but it may also play a major role in overcoming trauma. The 2006 study published in Behavior Research and Therapy found that Vietnam War veterans with higher levels of gratitude experienced lower rates of post-traumatic stress disorder. A 2003 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that gratitude was a major contributor to resilience following the terroristic attacks on September 11th. Recognizing all that you have to be thankful for, even during the worst times, fosters resilience. That's a pretty powerful one. That shows just how far this can go.
And I like the quote here. It says, "We all have the ability and opportunity to cultivate gratitude. Rather than complaining about the things you think you deserve, take a few moments to focus on all that you have." Developing an attitude of gratitude is one of the simplest ways to improve your satisfaction with life.
Nice. So that kind of leads into our activity. So throughout the week, we sat and went through this and answered the different questions on here and the different topics. So we're going to share some of that with you now because, just to help foster that attitude of gratitude along the way. So like I said, this was taken from change2chill.org, and it's a gratitude worksheet. It says appreciating all the positive things in our lives can help increase our happiness and decrease our stress. Work through each different area of your life listed below and list what you are grateful for. So the first topic is overlooked blessings. And it says that, did you know that 2.4 billion people in the world, that's 1 in 3, do not have adequate toilet? And 663 million people in the world, 1 in 10, do not have clean water. Happiness isn't created by getting something you don't have, but by appreciating what you already have. What overlooked blessings do you have to be grateful for right now? So the first one I wrote down, which kind of goes along with, where they're talking about the clean water, is a hot shower every day. There are a lot of people who don't have that luxury. I know right now, Vineland is starting to set up their shower days once a month. And you know what I mean? That kind of triggered that for me. I don't have to utilize that. I can go home and take a hot shower in my own house. And you don't think about that on a normal basis. But when you put it into perspective about these different things that our county does to help people who don't have that advantage, it kind of makes me realize, okay, I need to be grateful for that.
One of the things that I listed is having a roof over my head. Kind of like what you said, I don't realize that I can go to sleep. I have a comfortable bed. I don't have to suffer whether I'm hot or cold. So that definitely put myself into perspective of being grateful that I have a home to go to every night.
Mm-hmm. Another one I wrote down is having a vehicle. And like, and I realize how like spoiled I am by having a vehicle when I don't have my vehicle. Like there's a couple of months that I was having problems with my car and like having to ask for rides or can I borrow your car or like, so that made me realize like how like grateful I am to be able to just get up and go whenever I wanted to, because when I couldn't, it was a struggle. You know what I mean? The things that you take for granted. And like I don't hear like sometimes we'll help people with bus passes or, you hear people say, okay, well, I have to walk down there, things like that, because they don't have a vehicle to get themselves around in, or may not even know someone else who can help them with that.
Yeah, and transportation is also one of like a big issue that we're currently struggling with. Even with the individuals that we do help right now, that's the first thing. All right, I'm getting into treatment, but how do I get there now?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also, very important. I wrote down having the access to speak to both of my parents. So I have many friends who unfortunately have lost one of their parent or both of their parents. And it put me into perspective that I have the ability to speak to both of them if I wanted to.
Absolutely.
I live with one and then the other one is, just a phone call away. It's just a matter of picking up the phone and calling.
Yeah, I think family in general is something that not everybody has, whether they lost them through addiction or for other reasons. But, we come across people who are like, I don't have anybody. And they legitimately don't have anybody. So yeah, it's a really good one. I like that. Did you have anything else for that one?
Yes, so I wrote two more things. The other one was my friendship with my sister. I realized that not many siblings have a good relationship. And I think that is a relationship that I took for granted, because when people see my sister and I often get it a lot, it's like, oh, I wish my sister and I or my brother and I were as close as you guys are. So I'm definitely grateful for that relationship with my sister. And then the other one was going more into depth is the ability to go to school. So I know that I struggled a lot with like focusing on the things that I haven't accomplished. So gearing my thoughts into being grateful, I'm actually grateful that I have the ability to go to school and have a job that I can pay for school.
Yeah, just education in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to the next one?
Yes. The next one is positive things about my health and body. It's important to keep ourselves on the list of things we are grateful for. Having a good relationship with yourself will help you have a healthy relationship with others. What things are you grateful for about yourself? So I wrote down having all my limbs. My ability to be able to exercise if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I definitely don't think about that on a normal basis, like what it would be like if you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, the adjustment or the struggle that's involved with that. So my main one was I have lupus, which is an autoimmune disease. So a lot of days my body doesn't like me. However, considering that there are people who have this disease that are way worse off than I am. Mine is very manageable. And I think that goes to part where we read off earlier is, gratitude helping to improve your physical health. You know what I mean? Because I'm grateful to be here, like I take the steps to make sure that I see my rheumatologist on a regular basis, that I ensure my medication is filled and that I'm taking it on a regular basis. To avoid things that I know could be stressors that will incite a flare-up for me. So it's like being grateful that things aren't as bad as they could be, and I'm able to manage it, is like something that you know what I mean, I'm grateful for.
That's definitely a good one. So then I guess I'm grateful for my immune system.
Yeah.
It's still standing strong with me.
Yep.
I also wrote down my mind. I'm grateful for my mind, my capacity to set and achieve goals.
Yeah. I had something similar to that, and that was, that I'm creative and empathetic. So, you know what I mean? Being able to relate to other people, or, just listen, and have empathy for what they're going through.
Yeah, mine I guess was similar to my care for others.
Yeah.
It's always important to be there for someone who doesn't have anyone, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and you might be that source of gratitude for them by doing that. So the next topic is activities I enjoy. Whether it's preparing a meal, pausing to admire the sunset, or telling a friend your good news, the idea is to linger, take it in, and enjoy the experience. What helps you enjoy the moment without thinking of anything else? So one of the things that I wrote down was kayaking. I love being out in the water, by the water. On my lunch break today, I went and sat by the water, and because it just gives me the ability to like be out there. I don't have a phone in my hand distracting me when I'm on the water. I can just enjoy nature and being one with it without having the distractions of everything else that goes on.
I wrote down as an example is eating dinner with my family. So I take that. I'm very grateful for that, because I know dinners are not very common anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that everyone has a very busy schedule. So I'm grateful that everyone takes, time out of their day to sit down, and no one is allowed to use their phone while we're eating dinner. And we just sit there and enjoy a meal and talk if we need to talk, or, just sit there and reminisce about good memories,
Mm-hmm.
or what we want to do.
I think that's a big one with like putting the phone down, because that phone in your hand, you're not in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're distracted by whatever's going on there, and I'm guilty of it. But I've also learned to like set it down, because one of the things that I wrote down is time with my granddaughter, and I've noticed that since she was born, when it comes to holidays, like I don't take as many pictures as I used to. Normally I would be like sitting with the phone while the kids open their gifts, and these people are talking, and I'm trying to capture that, or I'm trying to capture the decorations, or whatever it may be. But I've learned that like to actually be present for it instead. So like Christmas came, I think I took like 6 pictures, because I was so into sitting and watching her open everything, and interact and all that type of thing. Like I could actually be in the moment and enjoy it without all that distraction.
I just wrote another example. I do enjoy exercising.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the coping skills or coping mechanisms that I have
Mm-hmm.
when I'm under a lot of stress. And just exercising forces me to focus on the exercise, because I'm in pain. So I have to focus on making sure I'm doing the exercise correctly so that I'm not hurting myself.
And even if you're at the gym surrounded with people, you throw in the earbuds and just do your thing, and you can just, all that fades away.
Yeah, you get in your zone.
Yep. So the one other thing I put down here was hugs.
Wow.
So I'm a member of a 12-step program, and we hug everybody. And at first it was very weird, because that's not how people usually greet each other. But now I look forward to it, because even if it's just for like a few seconds, it's just like that. Oh, you know what I mean? That like warmth and good feeling that you get.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the other is relationships. Oh, did you have any?
No, I'm good.
Okay. The other one is relationships I am grateful for. While the true benefits of friendships can't ever be measured, how do you calculate how much joy your best friend has brought to you over the years? Study after study shows friendships boost your happiness and even our health. Who are you grateful for in your life? So one of the people that I've mentioned before, so I wrote down my parents. I'm grateful for both of my parents.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, family's huge. Like, both of my parents and being able to call and talk to them. Even if because sometimes I feel bad, like I'll call my mom and we'll just talk. And then I'll call my dad and I'm like, can you, I call when I need something, but just being able to do that and have that support from him when I do need something is a good thing to have. And I also do that through my children. My children are grown. So, the mom role kind of gets a little fuzzy when they're adults, but you also get the benefit of being their friend as well and having that type of a relationship with them. And that can be very rewarding.
You wrote your parents too?
Yeah, and my kids, yeah.
Yeah, family overall. I also wrote down coworkers. So I used to work in a very stressful environment.
Me too.
Before coming here. I feel like everyone was just very angry, stressed. And when I came here, it was like a completely different atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was very uplifting, very motivating. And for the first time when I came in here, I was going through, I guess, experiencing what I had never really allowed myself to experience when my dad was going through recovery. So that for me was like a big thing. So I'm very grateful for all of my coworkers because each of them has taught me something. I don't know, and I'm grateful for them.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point because I was in finance for a long time. And it was one of those jobs where I woke up every morning and I dreaded going. And again, everybody was the stress level was high. It was this nonstop environment. And, God forbid you had a family issue or when your kids got sick, they could care less. You know what I mean? And to not feel like that, when I get up in the morning now and coming in here, it's not something that I dread. It's I almost look forward to it. You know what I mean? And that is huge because that takes the stress off the table. That takes that uncomfortable feeling off the table. You know what I mean? And to be able to work in a like you said, a relaxed environment, doing something that you enjoy, it's a whole nother world. Sometimes if things are slow, I'm I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm not doing something.
Right.
but it's okay because it doesn't always call for us to be constantly doing something. Some of it's just the fact that we're here for whoever needs us is part of the job. So yeah, that's very nice. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, and then also for me the relaxed environment has allowed my creativity side to come back again.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I suppressed for so long. Now I'm I want to paint, or how do I tie this arts and crafts thing into our recovery meetings, or
And that's the kind of things that we want to start doing here. Hopefully that you guys start to come in and join us and do these activities with us, including the arts and crafts and all that kind of stuff, because it's all very therapeutic. The other thing that I wrote down is my Narcotics Anonymous family. The 12-step program is huge for my personal recovery. And the love and support from the people I've met in there is just unbelievable. I can't even explain. I've been friends with people for years, but I feel like I've known these people for years. You know what I mean? They really are a family for me.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's your second family.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think I mean, I listed specific people, my sister, family, my boyfriend and his family, friends, but the gist of it is that I'm grateful for my entire family and those who support me unconditionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, so the bottom here says, after you've completed the worksheet, take the next step and apply what you learned about gratitude by writing a gratitude letter to someone you care about. Think of someone who had a positive influence in your life. This could be a family member, a teacher, or a friend, or someone else. A great way to show your gratitude is to write this person a thank you letter for their support, kindness, guidance, etc., and commit to mailing or reading your letter to them within the next 48 hours. We're going to do it within the next week. Do your best to write the letter by hand and not text or email it. So this is kind of funny too, right? Because, you know, part of being in a 12-step fellowship is that you have these 12 steps that you go through to help with your recovery. I am currently on my 9th, which is making amends. So this kind of like goes hand in hand with that. You know, I mean, it's letting the people in your life who have been supportive of you through active addiction and through recovery know that they are truly appreciated. So next week, when you join us, we will be, I don't know if you'll be willing to read your letter of gratitude. I'll be willing to read my letter of gratitude. But so if you're interested in coming in and sharing with us who or what you are grateful for, you can do that over the next week and either join us online or come into the center, 72 North Pearl Street here in Bridgeton. And every Tuesday at 7, we will be practicing our gratitude. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for listening to us. This was very therapeutic.